Hi guys. I have a couple of videos actually previous to this, but they're backed up because I haven't been online much to do this. Just wanted to give you guys an update. Well, a couple things. We'll start with the most important one. Tomorrow, time pending, I will go get their cage. A second one. This is just the single. As if you can see it, it's only a single level. I will be getting them a double stack. I've been trying to decide what I want to do. Hold on a sec, guys. Let me just get this out of the way. It's just that this chair is the perfect height. Also, because I don't have a desk in here. My desk is in the kitchen area. Anyway, I was trying to decide whether I wanted to stack a double stack on top of here, which would make it 3 levels high. Problem with that was I was debating, do I really want to every day lug that thing on a ladder or a stool or something to go and vac their cage? Because it is quite hard to reach into the two feet into the cage, balance yourself and clean, and possibly, if my chins semi cooperate, to watch the chins so they don't escape. So I was trying to figure out if I really wanted to do 6 feet high, or possibly this cage, open up just this wall and do a 4 feet high cage. Actually, the 4 feet will go here, and this one, as you can see with the window, would be perfect. So basically, I was thinking of maybe moving this cage over to here, opening up a wall, and then building the second one. So then they'll have length and height, which is what I really wanted. But originally what I wanted was length plus height plus height. I was going to add a unit to this, but this one would be $300 if I just bought the add-on unit, including shipping. So I'm not sure I really want to do that. Originally I was thinking of selling this cage. Problem with that is, because it's so expandable, why waste it? So I was thinking of just opening up the roof and then adding the next 2 levels on top without the wheel, because I was buying a 2-level cage with a wheel, so I would just not build this part. But I'm not sure if you guys heard that. He just made some sort of almost like a monkey call. It's really cute. They've been really noisy lately, just talking a lot to each other. Especially Speedo. Speedo's quite vocal, actually, for chinchilla. Anyway, I was thinking of what I really wanted to do. Because the underground storage, I measured it, is over a feet. This part already is a feet. Plus this part, we're talking almost, I think it's like 16 inches off the ground where the cage starts. So if I was to add 4 feet, we're talking 7 feet high cage, at least 7.5 feet almost. So I was thinking, how the heck am I'm only 5'1", almost 5'1", so how the hell am I supposed to clean it? So I'm still debating, but I'm leaning more towards opening up a wall and then doing a double stack plus a single and just joining it by the wall. The only difficulty with that is if I was to clean the cage behind the cage, like the vacuum, the only way would be to corral them upstairs on the second level of the double stack in order to wheel these things out, because the wall would be exposed. Does that make sense, guys? Because the only way to keep them together is with zip ties, but I don't plan to zip tie because then I wouldn't be able to vacuum behind there. Alternatively, I just came up with an idea. I don't know if it's going to be workable, but I was thinking of using the chloroplast from the guinea pig cage and lining it on the floor. Because if I was able to do that, then all I need is the nozzle, and I could be able to just get the little pieces of poo and hay and stuff. But right now, as it stands on the carpet, right on the edge, I'm not able to get the stuff. It clings a little bit. So in order for me to be able to vacuum easily, I would need a smooth surface. The problem with that is this cage is pretty heavy on its own. So if I was to use the chloroplast, it would definitely cave where the wheels were, which means you couldn't really pull the cart away, which is fine, I guess, but I don't know. I definitely have enough for that because I believe it's 8 feet and my cage was a 2x5, so if I opened up So yeah, if I opened it up, I should be able to. I don't know if I really want to do that though. The only other option is to use one of these fleece and just put it on the floor. And then maybe just like once a month, because it's not noticeable. Whereas this carpet's very noticeable. But if I were just to open up one of these and put it on the floor. I could have got this computer mat. They have one on sale right now for half price. It's only $14.99. Problem is, I think it's 4 feet by 5 feet, if I'm not mistaken. I think so. Problem is, I need one that's at least minimum 6 feet. And so it doesn't work out to be very good if I'm paying $30 to line the floor. Or I could just slide these cages out and just corral them. That's the other thing. That's the thing I was thinking of mostly. But I haven't quite figured out if it's actually possible. Because the cage, the second cage, assuming I open up this wall, will actually end just about this much away. So that will leave me with that much room to slide it out and then tilt it on an angle. But I don't know if I have enough clearance from here to here, because the cage cannot exit here. Without moving this and this, I can't actually get the cage out of here. The other place I was planning on building it was right here. The problem with building it right here, which only will be a single, actually works out great for space. But the reason why I don't want to is, I don't know if you can see this, but I don't know if you can see that, but the reason for that is the chinchilla dust, the chinchilla sand. So I have a Blu-ray right up there, so I'm not really too keen on putting it there, but I can think about that. Or I could fleece the cage instead, which will prevent the problem. And it would make it easier when I move. But that's the other thing. It would be easier when I move, in that the movers can move that thing out right away and put it on the truck. But the thing is, moving this thing by itself in a double stack would be easier than moving a triple stack. I've measured the door, and my doors are actually pretty high. I think for my door, it ends right here. So that's how high the cage is going to be. That's just for the cage. That's not including the underground storage unit. So in order for me to get the cage back out of the room, they'll have to tilt it. And basically, I figured out that they're going to have to tilt it all the way down to almost the ground and slide it out on an angle like this. You couldn't even move it out on this angle. So that's the other thing I was thinking about. Is it really a good idea to, stack it so high? So cleaning is a nightmare. Moving it out will be a nightmare, but it will be easier to clean behind there. Alternatively, I could just clean it once when I leave. That could also work. And of course, if I did that, the landlord couldn't look behind there anyway until I moved out, which is also fine. But then if they made a mess of some sort, it would be really hard to clean. Okay, so that's basically the rambling of what I've been pondering for the last couple days, which is why I have been absent, actually. I've been really, really working hard to do my finances and figure out if I can do this, because I never intended for these guys to stay in such a small cage. In my opinion, 2 chins in this cage is no different from the pet store. The pet stores usually have one animal in a cage that's about this small. It's white bottom plastic, those stupid ones with like no room basically for anything else. It's basically suitable for a rat, 1 rat maybe, but instead they put like a chin in there, or sometimes 3 or 4 or 5 if they're babies. But babies, even so, there's no room to move. Their igloo is about that big, and then they have room for a food dish and a water bottle, and they are jumping all over everything. So, I never intended for them to basically be, moved into a cage that's the same size as what they were living in. That's kind of stupid. You're not really offering them anything different, except it's a little bit quieter than the pet store. The other reason why I don't want to stack it is I will lose a ceiling. Whereas right now I have 1 ceiling, I can hang all this stuff. If I do the triple stack, I've only got the ceiling at the very top. The middle level, which has the hole for the ramp to come downstairs, I could leave that out, but then it's a 6 feet drop. If they slip or fall, they can really break something. literally. They're meant to jump high up, but they need something. They're like, I guess they live like in the mountains, right? So it's not a vertical drop, so there's always something for them to land on. Whereas in a cage, there isn't. So I was planning on keeping at least the middle level of the double sack, but where I put it was dependent on what I was planning to do. If I was using fleece, it would be really hard to go up there and vacuum. If I was using bedding, I could understand. I could just scoop it once a week. But if I'm using fleece, I got to do it once a day. And then there's the cost of the fleece, depending on what I want to do. If I do the triple stack, I will not be using those, guaranteed, because it doesn't make sense. It takes up half the cage. It's not very good in my opinion, because they kind of like to go all around the cage, up and down the walls. So if I use the shelving, it really eats away their square footage. They can play around on the walls. But if I did the joint cage like side by side and then have it upwards, like too high this way, I could actually put the shelving here on this side, nothing here, because the walls opened up, right? There's no room. Just humor me. It's actually in reverse, okay? Because the tall one's actually here. But my point is, I would have this part emptied, and then the other shelf will be here on the second cage, which basically means I have one full cage worth, right? Half of this cage and half of the other one that has no shelvings, which means they can still run around quite well. And don't forget, it's only on the bottom level. So I was thinking about doing that. Or maybe even just one and have the other one upstairs on the second one. But that's basically what I had in mind. I've seen it, but I've never actually physically, looked into how high it is when it's assembled. Like, I've actually seen it in a store, but I've never actually, reached in and see if I can reach to the back, etc. So I do anticipate I'll need to use this, like kneel on this to get to the top level. The other thing was the cost of the fleece. Basically, I'm going to go with the Bare Essentials because it's really high, and I have to renew my passport this month. And I've already ordered the stuff from Chinchilla Park Place. I ordered some custom ledges. This video might carry on to another video. I ordered some custom ledges, 7 inches, 2 of them, and then 12 inches, 2 of them, so 1 feet long by 5 inches, so it's about half a feet by 1 feet, so it's quite big. I'm inquiring about how much they normally cost. I got them when they were on sale, but her sales are usually only $1 or $2 off, so it shouldn't be that much if I ever want to buy more, because I now have more square footage to work with. I'm gonna have a very empty cage. Buying locally in the stores is such a ripoff. I mean, I think the ledges, the first one was like it's like $10 or something, $10 or $12. Whereas here it's $10 and it's half the size, so you're paying quite a markup in the stores. That's that. I did order something called apple rings, organic dried apple rings. I'm gonna give that a try. It's just oven baked dried apple. It's a treat. I also ordered something called rose buds because I didn't want to order rose petals because the place I got the rose petals were really expensive to ship it. For a small order, and I had nothing else I wanted from the store, so I'm ordering all of it from Chinchilla Park Place. Hopefully it will arrive within the week, and then my next order of business will be to get the chin stuff that I saw metal. They're steel tubes with fleece coverings, so instead of the cardboard, they're selling them with steel, and they're drilled holes already in the steel, and then you just mount it on the wall. But what makes it good is they're cheap proof and they're washable, completely washable. The fleece is washable, the steel pipe is washable, everything's washable. The price is quite high. It's $8.50 for every additional liner you want to buy at any given time. It doesn't have to be with the order, but the fleece plus the tube initially is $23, $22.99. So it is quite expensive. So it probably won't be until March or April, depending on how much I make in March. But I do have to save to move out as well, so that's the other dampener. But I mean, they do live very long time, so I guess I have plenty of time. I'll carry on the next part in the next video.